Good evening all. Welcome to Ganitagya Academy. Myself, Professor Hitesh Sharma. I am IIT BHU alumni. More than 15 years of teaching experience, and I am director of Ganitagya Academy. So today, first let me see what is the syllabus of your ICSE math syllabus. Okay. So the first chapter is rational and irrational numbers. Then compound interest without using formula. Then using formula. Chapter 4 is expansion. Chapter 5 is factorization. Okay, so this syllabus I already given you. So see, this is a complete syllabus that we have to cover. So today we will discuss rational and irrational numbers. So for that, let me start. Please take out your notebook, your pen, so that we can start. Okay. Okay. So first of all, write down. Number one is natural numbers, integers, and whole numbers. Okay. So this you have studied in earlier class also, but let me revise it. Let me revisit it. So first one is the first numbers to be discovered were natural numbers. Okay. So when it is 1, 2, 3, 4, it means only positive numbers and greater than 0, and fraction is not involved. Okay. Fractional number not involved. Fractional decimal is not involved in the natural numbers. Am I clear? So natural numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 to infinite. 1 to infinite. So these numbers are called natural numbers. Okay. So if in this natural number I will add 0, if I will add 0 to this number, I will get the whole numbers. Okay. So the next point is, you can write with me. I will wait for you. So second is, if we include 0 to the collection of natural numbers, we get a new collection of numbers known as whole numbers, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So instead of writing full statement, you can write natural numbers, and then you can write 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you write whole numbers, then you write 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So is it clear? First one is natural number, second one is whole numbers. Okay. Now third one is if we put whole numbers and the negative numbers together. Okay. From 1 to infinite. See, first of all we have seen 1 to infinite. So these are called the natural numbers. If I'll add 0 to this, it will be called whole numbers. If I will add, see, you know, this is number line. Okay. So this is number line. In number line, this is 0. These are the positive integers, and these are the negative integers. Okay. So 1 and 0 is also an integer, and 1 to infinite is natural number. If 0 is included, this is whole number. If positive numbers, negative numbers, and 0 where decimal and fraction is not included, that time it is called integers. Okay. That these things you have studied in earlier class also, but we are revisiting before going to. Okay. So now we are starting our first chapter, that is rational number. Okay. So rational number is a number that can be represented as P upon Q form. Okay. It means P is also an integer, Q is also an integer. Okay. So a rational number is a number that can be expressed as the ratio of two integers. Okay. So I can say this is P upon Q, where Q cannot be 0, because if Q is equal to 0, 1 upon 0 is infinite. Okay. So that time that is not defined. So a rational number is a number that can be expressed as the ratio of two integers. Okay. Am I clear? And now next will be irrational number. So the number which cannot be represented as a rational number, that will be irrational number. Okay. Like root 2, like root 3, like pi. Okay. That we will see. So the next is irrational number that cannot be expressed. It is the number that can't be expressed that way, means P upon Q form, that time it will be called irrational number. Please write it down. Okay, so the next is let me solve some question so that we can have more insight of the what we have seen in the first slide. So the first question is 0 rational number? Can it be written in the form of P upon Q, where P and Q are the integers and Q cannot be 0, is not equal to 0. So is 0 rational number? What we will say? Yes, 0 is a rational number. Okay, so first answer is, we will say yes, 0 is a rational number. Okay, 0 is a rational number. Okay, please write it down. Please write with me. And if any doubt, you can ask me anytime. Okay, you can interrupt me in between. No issue. Okay, so first one is clear to you. Yes, 0 is a 0 is a rational number. It can be represented in terms of P upon Q, because I can write 0. I can write 0 upon 1. That is P upon Q. So P is equal to 0 and Q is equal to 1. Simple. Okay, am I clear? So now question number 2. Okay, so first write this. Completed? Okay, so let's write second question. So we will discuss it. Please let me know so that I can clear this screen. Okay, so the question number 2 is, are the following statements true or false? Give reason for your answers. Okay, so number 1 is, every whole number is a natural number. Is it correct? Is it correct? No.
False.
False. Perfect. So what we can say? We can say natural numbers are, please write it very elaborate manner. Natural numbers are 1, 2, 3 up to infinite. Okay, whole numbers are 0 is also included. So we can say every natural number is a whole number. We can say every natural number is a whole number, but every whole number is not natural number. Am I clear? We can write every natural number is a whole number. Every natural number is a whole number. Okay, but every whole number is not natural number. So first one is very much clear to all. Now let me move to question number 2. Okay, every whole number is a rational number. Bataiye, it is true or false?
True.
It is true. Perfect. Okay, so every whole number is a rational number. Definitely whole number is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So all I can write 0 upon 1, 1 upon 1, 2 upon 1, 3 upon 1, 4 upon 1. So it can be written as P upon Q form. So P is also integer, Q is also integer. So second is also very much clear. Now, so second statement, what we can say? Yes, every rational number, but every rational number is not a whole number. Is not a whole. Is it clear? Okay, because if 2 by 3, that is not a whole number, isn't it? So every rational number is not a whole number, but every whole number is a rational number. Okay, second one is clear. Now question number 3. What is 3? Every integer is a rational number. Bataiye.
True.
Perfect. It is true. So every integer is a rational number, because integer is also part of whole number. So 1, 2, 3, sorry, whole number is a part of integer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, -1, -2, this all can be represented as a rational number. So every integer is a rational number. Yes, perfect. So third one is also correct. Now question number 4. Boliye.
False.
False. Perfect. Okay, Every rational number is a whole number, definitely. Yes, this is wrong. Perfect. Okay. So we can say every whole number are rational. We have written here only. Yeah? Yes, perfect. So this all completed. Can we move to next question? Next question. So the next question is arrange -5/9, 7/12, -2/3, 11/18 in the ascending order of their magnitudes. Also find the difference between the largest and the smallest of these rational numbers. Express this difference as a decimal fraction correct to 1 decimal place. Okay. So numbers are -5/9, 7/12, -2/3, and 11/18. Okay. So first what I'll do, see, we are having denominator 9, 12, 3, and 18. So what I'll do, I will try to make all denominator is equal to same value. Okay. So for that, what we will do, we will take LCM of 9, 12, 3, and 18. Okay. So to find out LCM, what we will do, that is long division method. First is let me take 2. So this is 9, this is 6, this is 3, this is 9. Okay. Then 2, that is 9, that is 3, and 9. Now I will take 3. So it is 3, it is 1, it is 1, it is 3. Again I will take 3. So 1, 1, 1, and 1. So LCM is, it will be 36. Okay. So this is the longer method. Directly we can find LCM. So for that, I'll give you one method, that is take largest number, greatest number. So 9, 12, 3, and 18. Which is greatest number? 18. Take greatest number. Okay, that is equal to 18. Now find its multiple. So 18 is not the LCM because 18 is not fully divisible by 12. So we will take second multiple of 18, that is 36. So 36 is divisible by everyone. Yes. By 3 it is 12, by 12 it is 3, by 9 it is 4. So LCM is 36. So there is no need to find out LCM using this. Okay. So LCM is 36. Now what I'll do, I will try to make all denominator is equal to 36. So for that, what I'll do, -5/9 ko I will write 4 into 4. I will multiply by 4, I will divide by 4. So it will be this one. Second number will be 7/12 into 3/3, -2/3 into 3, sorry, it will be 12/12, 12/12, and last one will be 11/18 into 2/2. Okay, please write it down. And if done, so now the numbers are, we can write -20/36. Okay, that is -20/36. Second will be, that is 21/36. Then it is -24/36. Then 22/36. Okay. Is it clear? So now what we will do, make a number line. This is 0. The leftmost will be -24. Now only judge these numbers, numerators only. So -24, then -20, then 21, and then 22. So when we will go towards right on the number line, number will be ascending or increasing. So it will be -24/36, then -20/36, then 21 upon 36, and then 22 upon 36. So these are the numbers we can write in the ascending order. So again, convert it into minus 24 upon 36 means minus 2 by 3. Okay, then minus 5 by 9, then 21, this is 7 upon 12, and then next is 11 upon 18. So these are the numbers in the ascending orders. Okay, and now the second part of question is express this difference. So second question is express this difference as a decimal fraction correct to one decimal. Okay, so the difference between large and the smallest number. So largest number is 11 upon 18, or we can say 22 upon 36, and smallest number is minus 2 upon 3, or I can write minus 24 upon 36. So the difference is 22 upon 36 minus 24 upon 36. So it will be 46 upon 36. So I can write 23 upon 18. So in decimal place we have to write. So we can say it will be 1.27, or approximately I can write 1.3. So this is the answer for the question. Okay, so we will move to next question. The next question is arrange 5 by 8, minus 3 upon 16, minus 1 upon 4, 17 upon 32 in the descending order. So now we will write greatest number at the first of their magnitude. Also find the sum of the lowest and the largest of these rational numbers and express the result obtained as a decimal fraction correct to 2 decimal places. So just now we have done similar question is there. So try to solve it, let me know, then I will solve. So here as we can see that numbers are denominators are 8, 16, 4 and 32. So LCM of 4, 8, 16 and 32 is equal to 32. So what I'll do, I will try to convert each number irrational, all rational numbers into we will make denominator 32. So what I can write, this is 5 upon 8, I can write 4 upon 4. The second is minus 3 upon 16 into 2 upon 2. I can write minus 1 upon 4 into 8 upon 8 and 17 upon 32. There is no need to write. Okay. So now the first number will be 20 upon 32. Second number is minus 6 upon 32. Third number is minus 8 upon 32. And fourth number is 17 upon 32. So now we have to write these numbers in the descending order. So make a number line. I will write it here. So make a number line. This is 0. Okay. First number is, now see only numerator. 20 minus 6 minus 8, 17. So minus 8 will come here, minus 6 here, then 17 and then 20. So now we can say this is the greatest number and this is the smallest number. So I will write 20 by 32, then 17 by 32, then minus 6 upon 32, and then minus 8 upon 32. So again I will write it into the similar way, 5 by 8, 17 by 32 means this is same 17 by 32, then minus 6 upon 32 means that is minus 3 upon 16, and then minus 1 upon 4. So this is nothing but the, am I correct? Any doubt? So this is nothing but the descending order. Okay. And now we have to find out the difference. So difference between 5 by 8 and minus 1 by 4, or 20 by 32 and 8 upon 32. So first write it down, then I will move. Okay. So the difference is the difference is 5 by 8 minus 1 by 4. So what is the question? Find the name. We need to also find the sum of. Okay, the question here is find the sum of lowest and the largest number. That is not difference. Initially it was asked difference. Here find the sum of lowest and the largest number. So the sum is 1 upon 8. I will take common. So that will be 5 and it is 2. So that is 3 upon 8. Am I right? So see, 3 into 1 upon 8 is 0.125. You must remember. So the answer will be 0.375. Okay. So they asked decimal fraction correct to 2 decimal places. So 0.3 will be same, and then after 7 it is 5. So we will write 0.38. So this is the correct answer. Okay. So now let me move to next question. So see, before next question, let me tell you one thing. Okay, if denominator is of pattern 2 raised to m into 5 raised to n, if denominator is in the pattern, write it down. If denominator in the pattern of 2 raised to m cross 5 raised to n, what we will say? If denominator is of the pattern 2 raised to m and 5 raised to m, then the number can be convertible to decimal, terminating decimal. Then terminating decimal is possible. What is terminating decimal? That we will see. Then we can say terminating decimal is possible. Okay, so what does it mean? Let me tell you. Okay, see, before solving the question, you are having number 1 upon it. Okay, you are having number 1 upon it. So directly I can write it is 0.125. Okay, so this is called terminating decimal, that after finite number it will terminate. If you are having number 1 upon 7, can you terminate it? It will be 0.142 and so on. So this is not terminating number, it will goes on. Okay, so see, what is difference between 8 and 7? 8 I can write 2 cube and into 5 raised to 0. This is 5 raised to 0. So a number that can be represented in the pattern 2 raised to m into 5 raised to n, terminating decimal is possible. Okay, similarly, if you are having 1 upon 25, if you are having 1 upon 25, so what will happen? 1 upon 25 is, we can say, wait a minute, we can say 4 upon 100. So that is 0.04, isn't it? Again, it is terminating decimal. Okay, so 0.04, that is terminating decimal. So 25 can be written as 2 raised to 0 into 5 square. That's why it will give terminating decimal. Okay, that's why it will give terminating decimal. Okay, please write it down. Then we have to solve the question. Okay, so now the question is, without doing any actual division, find which of the following rational numbers have terminating decimal representation. Without solving rational numbers. Okay, so you just have to check, write down the factors of 16, then write down the factors of 125, then write down the factors of 14, then write down the factors of 45, which is the denominator, then 50, then 40. Let me solve for this question. Okay, first let me solve this question. So see, first one is 16. I can write 2 raised to 4 into 5 raised to 0. First write factor, then we will find out what is the, it can be converted to terminating decimal or not. Okay, so first one is 2 raised to 4 into 5 raised to 0. Am I clear? Now second, 125. 125 is nothing but 5 cube into 2 raised to 0, isn't it? Now 14 is 2 into 7. Okay, this is 3 into 3 into 5, so this is 3 square into 5, isn't it? 50 is 25 into 2, it means 2 into 5 square. Okay, and 40 is I can write 2 into 5, that is 10 into 4, that is 2 square. So I can write 2 cube into 5 raised to 1. Please write it down, then we will discuss. Can you say now which one is terminating decimal or which one not? See, first one
is terminating.
Very good. This is terminating. First one is terminating. Yes. Second one is
Terminating.
very nice. It is also terminating. Now third one.
No, it's not.
Not terminating. Very nice, because it is not 5, it is 7. So it will say not terminating. Okay, this is also done. Okay. Now fourth is
Non-terminating.
again, is it not terminating? Let me write NT, not terminating, because it is 3 is there. Now 50, in 50 it is 2 into 5 square.
Terminating.
Perfect, terminating. So this is also done. Now sixth is
Terminating.
perfect. Sixth is again terminating. Okay. Now seventh and eighth, solve it and let me know the answer. So before that I will rough it. Okay. So now just let me write seventh, that is 75. So I will write it 25 into 3. So that is 3 into 5 square. So we will say it is not terminating because it is not in the factor of 2 raised to n, 5 raised to n. Then 8th is 250, that I can write 2 into 125, that is 2 into 5 cube, isn't it? So it is terminating. This question done. Okay. Okay, so now I am clearing this. Now we will move to next question. Before that, let me tell you. Now we have seen irrational number and rational number. So rational number, we have seen rational numbers, nothing but the fractions or integers, both is rational number. So if I can write P upon Q, where Q is not equal to 0 and P and Q are integer, that time it is called rational number. Okay, so now we will introduce irrational number. So irrational numbers means which cannot be represented in terms of P upon Q, which cannot be represented, cannot be represented as rational number. Okay, so let us say we are having under root 2. It is under root 2, so this we will call it irrational number. Okay, now if we are having under root 4, so is it rational or irrational? Under root 2 is equal to 2, under root 4 equal to 2, so it is rational number. So we can say perfect squares, the numbers which will provide the perfect. 4 is perfect square, 9 is perfect square, so under root 2 will be, and under root 9 will be rational number. Okay, this is rational number. Okay, so this is nothing but the when you will see non-terminating fractions. Okay, then under root 2, under root 3, under root 5, under root 7, under root 19, this will be non-terminating. So or we can say these are the rational numbers. Okay, irrational numbers. So rational numbers are which can be represented in P of P upon Q term, and irrational numbers are which cannot be represented as a rational number. Okay. So pi is also irrational number. Pi is also irrational number. Okay, write it down. We can move to next question. So first question is, I'm clearing this screen. Okay, so now the question is, okay, state whether the following numbers are rational or not. Okay, so we have to find whether these numbers are rational or not. Let me solve first question, other you will solve and you can tell me the answer. So first one is 2 plus under root 2 its square. So it will be, see, you must know the formula, a plus b square, that is a square plus b square plus 2ab. A minus b square is a square plus b square minus 2ab. Okay, so here it is 2 plus root 2 square. So it is 2 square plus root 2 square plus 2 into root 2. So it will be 4 plus 2 plus 4 under root 2. So it will be 6 plus 4 root 2, and we can say this is irrational number. Please write down carefully. This is irrational number. So बताइए सेकंड क्या होगा? Second will be 3 minus under root 3 its square. So it will be 3 square plus under root 3 square minus 2 into 3 into root 3. So it will be 9 plus 3 minus 6 under root 3. So it is 9 plus 3 12 minus 6 root 3. So again it is irrational number. Irrational number. Okay, this is also done. Now we will move to third question. If you have written, let me know so that I can remove it. So the next is 3. The third is 5 plus under root 5, then 5 minus under root 5. So you must know the formula, a plus b into a minus b is a square minus b square. Okay, so this is a, this is b, this is a, this is b. So resultant will be 5 square minus under root 5 square. So this is 25 minus 5. So hence it is 20, and this is a rational number. Okay, so third one is also done. Second and first we have completed. Now we will move to question number 4. So let me start. This is under root 3 minus under root 2 its square. So this is under root 3 square plus under root 2 square minus 2 into under root 2 into under root 3. So that is 3 plus 2 minus 2 into, I can write under root 6, under root 2 into 3. So this is 5 minus 2 under root 6. So this is again irrational number. Okay, so this is also done. Please write it down. So see, fifth is 3 upon 2 under root 2 its square. So square means 3 square upon 2 square, then under root 2 square. So this is 3 square is 9, 2 square is 4, it is 2. So this is 9 upon 8. So it is represented in terms of P upon Q, where P is equal to 9, Q is equal to 8. So both are integer. So when the number can be represented by ratio of 2 integer, it is called rational number. Okay, so Now
Yes, sir.
question number 6, that is under root 7 upon 6 under root 2 its square. So this is under root 7 square divided by 6 square into under root 2 square. So under root 7 square is 7, 6 square is 36 into 2, that is 7 upon 72, and this is the, again I can write in P upon Q, then this is rational number. Very good, Padmanabh, you have given the correct answer. So this is rational number. Let me clear the screen and then we will move to next question. The next is, okay, find the square of. So find the square of this number. Square of this number. So first number is 3 under root 5 upon 5. So this is 3 square under root 5 square upon 5 square. So this is 9 into 5 upon 25. Okay, so I can write it is 9 by 5. So this is only this number. Now we have to find its square. So square of 9 by 5, that is I can write 81 upon 25. So first is this. Okay, so now second is find the square of under root 3 plus under root 2 square. Now third is find the square of under root 5 minus 2 square, and just let me know the resultant will be rational or irrational. Arshia, if you can try, let me know, otherwise no issue. If you can try, it would be better, I feel. Let me check. So see, first one is under root 3 square plus under root 2 square plus 2 into under root 3 under root 2. So I can write 3 plus 2 plus 2 into under root 6. So this is 5 plus 2 under root 6. So first answer is irrational. So Arsha, you are correct. The square is irrational. Okay. Second question, Padmanabh, you have given the answer. This is under root 5 square, a square plus b square minus 2 into under root 5. So it is 5 plus 4 minus 4 under root 5. So this is 9 minus 4 under root 5. So this is irrational. This is not rational. This is irrational. Okay, this is irrational. And third one, directly you can write, I will write a square, that is 9, plus 2 under root 5 square, that is 4 into 5. I can write directly 20, plus 2 into 3 into root 5. So this is 29 plus 12 under root 5, and this is again irrational number. So please write it down so that we can move. Okay, so let me move to next question. The next question is state in which, in each case only we have to write it is true or false. Okay, so first try it, then I will let you know. Very easy question. See, under root 2 plus under root 3 is equal to under root 5. This is definitely wrong.
False.
Yes, very nice. This is false. Second is 2 root 4 plus 2. So see, 2 into root 4, that is 2 into 2, 4, 4 plus 2, that is second one is 2. Isn't it? Then third is 3 root 7 minus 2 root 7. So I can take root 7 common, so 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. So this is also true. 2 by 7 is irrational number.
False.
Very nice. Fifth is 5 upon 11 is rational number. Of course it is true.
True.
Very nice. All rational numbers are real numbers.
True.
Very nice. Then all real numbers are rational numbers.
False.
Very nice. Then some real numbers are rational numbers.
True.
True. Very nice. Perfect. All are clear. Please write it down. Okay. So the next is, okay, let me clear this screen first. Okay. So the next question is, this is the given universal set. Okay. So we have to find set of rational numbers, set of irrational numbers, set of integers, set of non-negative numbers. What does it mean? Just write all rational number together, all irrational number together, all set of integers together, and set of non-negative integers together. Okay, try this. And then, okay, so first we will write all rational numbers. So rational numbers will be, let me write, you can just let me know whether it is correct or not. So I will write it rational numbers, set of rational numbers. Okay, so -6 is rational number, -5 3/4. So I can write -5 plus 3/4. So this is -23/4. So this is also rational number, isn't it? Then my minus under root 4, that is not a rational number, definitely, because under root. Then next is -3/5. That is definitely rational number.
Sir,
Yes, yes, yes.
but minus under root 4 will be rational number, right? Because it is a perfect square.
So that will be -2, definitely. So it must be something else. It must be under root 4. Maybe I have written wrong. That maybe it is 14, but okay. So let me erase it. Maybe I have written the wrong caution, but okay. So -6 is there. -23/4 means -5 3/4. Then I can directly write -2. Then -3/5, and then -3/8. That is also correct. That is 0. Then 4/5 is also there. Then 1 is also there. Then 1 2/3 is 5/3. That is also there. Okay. Then under root 8, that will not be included. Then 3.01 is also rational number. Am I clear? Then pi is not there, and 8.47 is there, because these are terminating decimal. So terminating decimal I can also include in the rational number. So first one is clear to all of you. Okay. Okay. So next is set of irrational numbers. Only two numbers are irrational number. Which one? Under root 8 and pi. So I will say IRN, irrational numbers. So it will be only under root 8 and pi. Now 3, that is set of integers. So I will write only integers. Please tell me which one is integers. That is very simple question. So integers will be -6. Instead of under root 4, I can write -2 only, or minus under root 4 I can write. Then 0 and then 1. These are the integers. Okay. So now question number 4, that is non-negative integers. So only 0 and 1. Non-negative integers. So it is only 0 and 1. Okay. So now let me move to next question. The next question is, prove that each of the following number is irrational. So we have to prove that. That is, these numbers are irrational numbers. So how we can prove it? So that method is known as contradiction method. Okay. So that is, we can say that is contradiction method. Contradiction means first I will consider that this is rational number, and then we will prove that what we have taken initially we have taken wrong. That is called nothing but the contradiction method. So let me tell you once, then you will solve it for the others. Okay. So in the first question, let under root 3 plus under root 2 is equal to x. You have taken under root 3 plus under root 2 is equal to x, and let x is rational number. Am I clear? Any doubt in this? The question is, we have to prove that each of these number are irrational number, that we know because there is under root 2 is there, but we have to prove it that it is irrational number. So to prove it, we will use contradiction method, in which first we will take this number is irrational number, and then we will prove this the assumption we have taken is wrong. Am I clear? So first I will take square both side. So when I'll square both the side, what I'll see, wait a minute. Okay, so when I'll square it, so under root 3 square, under root 3 plus under root 2, sorry, it is under root 3 plus under root 2, its square is x square. So I can write a square, that is under root 3 square plus under root 2 square plus 2 into under root 3 into under root 2, that is x square. So under root 3 square is 3 plus 2 under root 6, that is x square. So I can write under root 6 is equal to x square minus 5 upon 2. Am I correct? Okay. So first we have taken that x is a rational number. That is our assumption. So assumption. So x square is also a rational number. It means x square minus 5 is also a rational number. Okay, and x square minus 5 upon 6 is also a rational number. So this is x square minus 5 upon 6 is also rational number, but this is equal to x square minus 5 upon 2 is equal to under root 6, which is irrational number. So we will say our assumption was wrong. So it means this is called contradiction method. So we will say that x is not rational number. So we will say our assumption was wrong. It is called contradiction method. This is called a contradiction method. Please write it down and try to prove second and third also. Okay. Okay. So you can do for this thing also. So in second, again you will take 3 minus under root 2 is equal to x. Then you will square it. So that is 3 square plus 2 minus 2 into under root 2 into 3, that is x square. So it will be 9 plus 2 minus 6 root 2, that is x square. So first we have taken x is a rational number. So we have taken x is a rational number. Okay, and then what we'll do, this is 11 minus 6 root 2, that is x square. So 11 minus x square upon 6 is equal to root 2. So we can say root 2 is a irrational number. So 11 minus x square upon 6 also irrational number. So 11 minus x square is irrational number. So x square is also irrational number. But we have taken x is rational number. So our assumption was wrong. So we can say it is contradiction method proves that x is a irrational number. In the same pattern you must write. In the first question we have written, that is a simple method. है ना. You must write if you want to see. There are two pattern of this thing. Okay. So this is nothing but the called contradiction method. And in third case also you can write under root 5 minus 2 is equal to, let us say, y this time. So under root 5 minus 2 its square is equal to y square. You must write in between squaring both the side. Okay, you must write squaring both the side. Okay, so whatever step you are following, you must write. Okay, so that will give the different impact in the writing skill. So squaring both the side. So now you can write using formula. Using formula. So which formula you are using? So that is a minus b square. So that is a square plus b square plus 2ab. So you are using this formula, and then write a is equal to root 5 and b is equal to 2. In this pattern you must write in exam. Okay, so if you are practice from the beginning, then you can get very good marks, you know. So we must achieve 100 out of 100 in your board exam. You must qualify IMO, that is my target. So for that you must be having good solving skill and good writing skill for your examination. Okay, am I clear? So now under root 5 minus 2, its square will be under root 5 square plus 2 square minus 2 into 2 into under root 5. Okay, so it will be 5 plus 4 minus 4 under root 5. So it is 9 minus 4 under root 5. Even write it very peacefully, so that the person who will read your notebook should impress. Okay, so this is 9 minus 4 root 5, that is y square. So now can we move to next page? Okay, so now it is y square, 9 minus y square is equal to 4 under root 5. Then you will write 9 minus y square upon 4 is equal to under root 5. Hence again, can you say under root 5 is a irrational number? Irrational number. Hence, see, you are using contradiction method. So you must write, before that you must write, as you know, root 5 is a irrational number. Okay, so you have taken y as a rational number. So if y is rational number, y square is also rational number. Hence y square, 9 minus y square is also rational number, and 9 minus y square upon 4 is also a rational number. Okay, so now, but it is equal to under root 5, that is irrational number. So we can say our assumption was wrong. Our assumption was wrong. This is called contradiction method. It must be very much clear to you. Please let me know. Okay, so I am clearing the screen. So this is now our last question for today. I am giving you. Okay, this 3 question you can write and you can solve it as a homework. So in the next class again we will discuss this. Please solve this and then we will end our lecture. Okay, chaliye, these are the last 3 questions. Let me write it so that, and I will write, I will give you one example, and then you can write different example also. Okay, so let me say write a pair of irrational number. Let us say it is root 2 plus 5 and root 5 minus 2. So summation will be, that is 5 minus 2, that is 3, plus root 2 plus root 5. So these are two irrational number and sum is also irrational number. So 7th is done. 8th is write a pair of irrational numbers whose sum is rational. So you can write root 2 plus 5 and 5 minus root 2. So summation will be, sum will be 10 only. So this is a rational number, isn't it? Okay, and now third is write a pair of rational number whose difference is irrational. So similarly, you can say that is root 2 plus 5 and 4 minus root 7. So again, difference will be, you can say difference will be irrational. Okay. Chaliye. With this, we will end our session here. So in next section, we will start from the next question, and next time we will complete our chapter 1, that is rational irrational number. Okay.